learners to Form 3 Mathematics. I would like us to look at Surds, a question on Surds which was tested sometime back in KCSE. Welcome. We are told that without using a calculator or mathematical tables, express square root of 3 over 1 minus cos 30 degrees in Surd form, and then simplify. Without using a calculator or mathematical tables, express this in Surd form and then simplify. So how do we go about this, learner? So we can rewrite this square root of 3 over 1 minus cos 1 over minus cos 30 degrees. So without using a calculator or mathematical tables, learners, how do we get cos 30 degrees? Cos 30 degrees. We know that we use, maybe I can draw it here, we use an equilateral triangle. Let me draw it roughly. An equilateral triangle of side 2 units. 2 units. 2 units. And therefore, in this equilateral triangle, equilateral triangle, we know that this angle here is 60 degrees. 60 degrees, all the angles are 60 degrees, and even this one is 60 degrees. But we normally drop a perpendicular here, a perpendicular to the base, so that this angle here is now 30 degrees and 30 degrees. Remember, the whole angle is 60 degrees, but once you drop a perpendicular, the angle is divided into 2 equal parts, 30 degrees, 30 degrees. By dropping this perpendicular, learner, the base, which is 2 units, is divided into 2 equal parts. So here we have 1, and here we also have 1 unit. Then the other thing is to find this height here. What is this height? Call it h, this height. Using Pythagoras theorem and one of these right angles here, we can talk of 1 squared plus your h squared is equals to hypotenuse squared. Pythagoras theorem. 1 squared plus h squared is equals to 2 squared. So 1 plus h squared is equals to 4. H squared, learner, is equals to 4. You take this to this side, you get minus 1. So h squared is equals to what? 3. And therefore your h is square root of 3. You find square root on both sides. So learner, this height here is square root of 3. I hope you can see it. Square root of 3. Therefore, learner, what is cos 30? Cos 30 degrees. From our diagram here, cos 30 is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. So katoa, adjacent over hypotenuse. So if we use this right angle here, learner, which is the adjacent, you can first label. If this is the angle 30 degrees here, this side directly on the other side is called opposite. So this is opposite. If this is angle 30, this side here is opposite, the one which is directly on the other side. Then this other shorter side therefore is the adjacent, and this is the hypotenuse. So this is opposite, this is adjacent, and this is hypotenuse. So cos 30 is equals to adjacent, which is root 3 over 2, square root of 3 over 2. I hope you have remembered. Cos is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse, root 3 over 2. So we come and substitute it here, learners. So we talk of square root of 3 over 1 minus root 3 over 2. You have expressed your cos 30 in terms of sides. So from here, how do we simplify this? So what we do is that you multiply up and down the numerator and the denominator with the conjugate of this denominator. What is the conjugate? We know that we write the same thing, but the sign changes. Look at that. This was positive, and therefore this becomes, this was negative, this becomes positive. So we multiply the denominator with the conjugate, and also the numerator with the conjugate. Look at that. From there, we now do the multiplication. We can go about it this way: root 3 multiplying the bracket 1 plus root 3 over 2. I hope you can see it. Divide by what, learner? Here we can go direct. Look at this. 1 minus root 3 over 2 times 1 plus root 3 over 2. Remember the identity, learner. A minus B multiplying A plus B. From 2 work. A minus B multiplying A plus B. We used to get A squared minus B squared. Or you will always get A squared minus B squared if you remove the brackets. So it's the same as multiplying this. It's like you are doing it this way. Multiplying A times A, you get A squared. B times B, you get B squared. Then you put a negative there. And so if these letters are the same, or numbers, and here there is minus and the other one you have positive, then that is the way to go. It's like you just take this minus this, this times this, you get A squared, this times this, you get B squared, then you put a negative. So what will be our denominator therefore? This and this look alike, this and this look alike. Here you have negative and positive. So 1 times 1 is 1, learner. You don't need to keep on removing the brackets the long way. So you just apply this. So this times this is 1. This times this is what, learner? Root 3 times root 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3. Maybe I can write it here. Square root of 3 times square root of 3, learner. We say that you just write 1 square root. Then you multiply these numbers like that, which is equals to square root of 9. And square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 means you just put 1 square root there, and then you multiply those numbers, you get square root of 9, which is 3. And therefore, root 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Divide by what? 2 times 2 denominators is 4. There we are. And therefore, from there we continue. So, root 3, we are now in the numerator. Root 3 times 1 is root 3. Root 3 plus what? Square root of 3 times square root of 3. It's just like this one. You'll finally get 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9, which is 3. 3 over what? 3 over 2. Look at that. This times this is 3. It's like you have a 1 here. 1 times 2 is 2. The denominator remains the same. Divide by what? So you remove that bracket accurately. Divide by 1 times 3, 1 minus 3 over 4 is a quarter. A quarter, learner. Here we are. From here, divide this with a half. Numerator divided by a quarter. Sorry, a quarter. What do you know about this, learner? If you have any number, for the sake of understanding, divide by a quarter. Let me write it that way. Divide by a quarter. It is the same as that number times what? The reciprocal, which is 4, or 4 over 1. Any number divided by a fraction is the same as the fraction times the reciprocal. So in this case, our reciprocal is 4 over 1, or just 4. And therefore, learner, this divided by this is the same as the numerator multiplied by 4. So you talk of 4 multiplying the numerator. Look at that. 4 multiplying the numerator. I hope we are together. So from there, learner, you remove the bracket. This times square root of 3, we write it as 4 root 3 plus what? 4 times 3 is 12. 12 over 2. 12 over 2, which is 6. And therefore we write 4 root 3 this way, or you may decide to remove the common term, which is 2, the common number, which is 2, and therefore you are left with 2 root 3 plus what, Lana? Plus 3. So you can either write it that way, or you can simply decide to remove the 2, which is common, and you will be left with 2 root 3 plus root 3. And there we have our answer. So Lana, go and master such problems whereby you have some trigonometric ratios and you're meant to express them in terms of surds. How do you express this, Lana? Because that in terms of surd, just summarizing, you put down an equilateral triangle of side 2, 2, 2. These angles are 60, 60, 60. This 60 here is subdivided into 2 equal parts by a perpendicular, and you end up with 30, 30. Then you get your height. Because already this base will have been divided into 2. 1 unit, 1 unit there. Okay, Lana? From there, you talk, of course, that is root 3 over 2, adjacent over hypotenuse. There we are. Substitute it here, and then you move on accurately with all the accuracy, learners. So I wish you all the best, learners in Surds. Continue practicing. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm always grateful. Thank you. God bless you.